From all of the prophets, I think the one that kind of always comes out to me, like I always like reciting the story in the Quran, and I enjoy reciting it in Salah as well, is the story of Ibrahim alayhi salam, right? And the story of Ibrahim alayhi salam, uh, I related to it a lot, and I feel like because we live in a world that's you know that's filled with people who doubt Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and doubt religion, and doubt faith, and doubt spirituality, and and I felt like Ibrahim alayhi salam, he grew up in that environment, right, where his own father was the chieftain, and he was in charge of those idols, right? But Ibrahim alayhi salam, at a young age, they said he was a teenager. He was in his early teens, and he noticed that like these idols don't do anything, right? He's like, why are people worshiping these stones that they make, right? Even if he didn't know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he wasn't a prophet at that time, right? He hadn't received wahi, like a revelation from Allah at that time. But he just used his common sense. He used his logic, and he was like, hey, um, you literally make these things. And if you want to break them, you could break them yourself. Why would you possibly worship that? Why would you possibly worship something that's going to let you down over and over? That's why he said, لا ينفعكم شيئا ولا يضرون, right? And then, not only did he do that, he he stood up to his own people at a young age. And you know the famous story of breaking all the idols, and then he put the axe in the hand, in the arms of the biggest idol inside the temple. And then when the people woke up, they said, "Who broke the idols?" He said, "The big idol. Go ask him." And then they said, "You know he can't do anything." Like, what do you mean? He was jealous of the other idols. So look how he's trying to like hint at. Okay, so he's the biggest one, and he destroyed all the little ones, right? They say, "You know he can't harm or benefit." He said, "Exactly. That's why I'm not worshiping him with you, right? I could." So they're like, "No, you're the ones that broke him." He's like, "Okay, so worship me then." I was like, "What's the whole big deal?" He said, "You guys, God, how about we just worship the one who created all of us, and the one who originated us from nothing? The same way this idol was nothing, and it became something after you carved it. We were nothing, we became something after Allah made us. And this whole universe was nothing and became something with Allah's permission, right?" And the people wanted to, kill him and destroy him, including his father. They lit a huge fire that was that was huge. Yeah, and I was reading tafsir. They said it was so big that birds couldn't fly over it, right? From how big it was, and they would die if they flew over it. That's how much heat it was emitting. They put oil, they put wood, and they couldn't even get close to him, so they had to catapult him. They tied him up and they catapulted him to the fire because they couldn't get that close. And then when he got into the fire, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Kuni anar bardan wa salaman ala Ibrahim. Then Allah commanded the fire not to burn him. And as he walked out of the fire, the people said, like, even that wasn't enough of a miracle for them to believe.
Wow.
Yeah, that wasn't enough of a miracle. He literally walked out and he told them, okay, do you believe in my God now? He saved me from this because I prayed to him. They said before he was catapulted in, there's one of the athar, one of the narrations. Um, Ibrahim alayhi salam was approached by Jibril alayhi salam. Look at this. Jibril physically came to Ibrahim and told him, I am an angel sent from Allah, and if you want, I can stop I can stop them from catapulting you, as Allah commanded me to ask you that. And you know what he said? He said, no, hasbi Allah wa ni'mal wakil. He said, all I need is Allah, and He's the best. He's the best person. I mean, He's the best one to put my reliance on. Right? No, yani, I don't need you. He even told the angel who was physically there to help. He's like, no, 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 not even you. Not like so. Not only did he disconnect from people, he got to a level where he didn't. He felt like he didn't even need the angels. Right? He said, no, no, Allah's with me. That's all I need. And that's why when he was catapulted, he went into the fire, and subhanallah, yani he was saved from that. The people still disbelieved. And then, he went to another people, and then he went through another logical thing. He saw the moon. They were worshiping the stars and the sun, and they believed in astronomy and whatnot, right? And they had, like people believe in horoscopes and stuff like that today, right? So he went to those types of people after he moved, and he told them, okay, he just followed along with them. He's like, guys, I believe the stars is my God. Let's worship this God. It seems pretty bright, and it's high and it's beautiful. And then when the moon came out, it covered the star. And he's like, hey, I don't like things that set. It was God. He should be there all the time. So let me worship the moon. And then the moon, he worshiped the moon with them. And then the moon set and the sun came out and the moon disappeared. He's like, no, the sun is bigger. The sun is better. And look, all the benefits we're getting from the sun. It's better than the star, better than the moon. Then when the sun set, he's like, guys, all these gods just come and go. And well, how about we worship the God that's never left us? The one that's always been there, the one who whose wisdom, whose knowledge, whose mercy we feel and we see every single day. It's manifested in all his creation. How about we just submit to him? And you see how he walked his people through like these logical arguments. I feel like, nowadays we need people who are inspired by Ibrahim alayhi salam. Just to live in today's modern day society. Like we need to deeply reflect in the message or into the methodology of Ibrahim alayhi salam in da'wah. Because I feel like we we regress to that point. Like Musa alayhi salam came to people from the sons of Israel, from the sons of Jacob and Yusuf alayhi salam, right? So they believed in God. Isa alayhi salam came to people believed in God. Musa, Muhammad sallallahu came to people who believed in God, like they came from the Abrahamic faith. They introduced idols, but they had remnants of the old faith of Ibrahim alayhi salam. But Ibrahim alayhi salam went to people that are just completely lost, right? And I
Yeah.
feel like today we're like amongst people that are completely lost, right?
Did
So
he
we
have,
need to, yeah.
I apologize. I'm just curious. Did he have a large following or no?
Ibrahim alayhi salam, well, he has the largest following in history because all three faiths that we call Abrahamic trace back to him.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, he's the
But
father
in
of all
his
of them.
life, though, were there a lot of people that followed him or no?
No, not really.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? And that can even
Yeah,
connect to Alhamdulillah and closure because he never got to see it necessarily.
yeah.
But as you just said, like the largest following, the Abrahamic faiths.